Hey, everybody, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America. Thank you for joining us. Got a big story for you today, but before we get started, please smash the like button. Please hit the share button. Please remember to leave a comment. And if you are on YouTube or Rumble, please remember, so important to hit that subscribe button. Those things really help a small channel like ours to grow. It's been working so far. You guys are doing great. Please keep at it. It's really helping us out. So, President Joe Biden and his administration are being dragged to court over their ridiculous plan to cancel up to $10,000 in student loans for millions of borrowers. Now, it actually goes higher for certain individual groups, but the point is you're talking about a $500 billion program minimum. And it was done by fiat. It wasn't done with congressional approval. Everybody knows the House controls the purse. So the Pacific Legal Foundation actually is bringing this case to court. And they said as much. They said you can't just create a $500 billion program by press release, right? Now, we know how this works, right? The Democrats tend to believe they can do anything they want, but you can't. And so what's going to happen is they're going to go to court. They may or may not win. It's going to probably get worked all the way up to the Supreme Court at some point. Not just this case. There's going to be a plethora of cases that actually go against this because on its face, it does appear to be unconstitutional. Though you cannot take my word as an expert. I'm not a constitutional attorney. I was never a Congress member. I can't tell you that definitively. But on its face, it looks unconstitutional. Now, there's even a bigger issue here, though. Yes, it's going to go to court. Yes, it's going to be challenged. The administration knew that going in. This is not a surprise. They're not shocked by this, right? But I think the bigger issue here is, what do you say to the people who paid off their student loans? What do you say to the kid who worked 2 jobs and went to college so they didn't have a student loan? What do you say to all those people? Too bad, so sad? You say that to people who, most of the families that are getting this money are going to be considered wealthy. They've got college degrees. They're not poor. So this is just an enormous transfer of wealth. And I think that's not what's being talked about here. That's not what's being talked about here. Also, they talked about, now you could start your family or this or that. And if $10,000 is what's keeping you from getting married or starting a family, maybe you shouldn't get married or start a family. If that's the amount of money that's keeping you from doing that, it's an insignificant amount of money into the pot of life that you're going to be facing. $10,000 is not a gigantic amount of money by any stretch of the imagination for somebody if they're debating something like starting a family or getting married. So I think what really has to be talked about here is not only the disparity in who's getting the money, why they're getting the money, how they're getting the money, but the unfairness of it all to the people who worked hard to not have to get this relief, right? So I think you have to take that as what it is, and I think that ultimately when this gets to the Supreme Court, I think it will be struck down because Congress controls the purse and the president can't do something like this by fiat. Folks, thank you for joining us here at Explain America tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to leave a comment, like it, share it, and if you're on YouTube or Rumble, please subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the bell for notifications. We really appreciate it so much, guys. Like I said, you've really been helping us out. It's a big help, and you guys are awesome. We love each and every one of you. God bless you. Take care.